the real story of Lana Rhoades. When people hear the name Lana Rhoades, they usually think of internet fame, millions of views, a recognizable face, a name that spread across the world almost overnight. But the truth is, that version of her story is only a small part of what actually happened. Because before the fame, there was a completely different life. Born as Amara Maple on September 6, 1996, in Chicago, Illinois, Lana didn't grow up with money, influence, or clear direction. Her early life was complicated. Like many teenagers trying to find their place, she struggled, and at times, made decisions that led her down the wrong path. She has openly spoken about getting into trouble as a teenager and even spending time in a juvenile detention center. For a lot of people, that kind of experience can define their future. But for her, it became a turning point. After that, she tried to build a normal life. She worked regular jobs, including waitressing, long hours, low pay, and a routine that felt like it wasn't leading anywhere. And that's when she started wanting more independence, more control, more opportunity. So at just 19 years old, she made a bold decision. She moved to Los Angeles. That move changed everything. In 2016, she entered the adult film industry. It wasn't a slow rise or a gradual journey. What happened next was faster than almost anyone could expect. Within months, her name exploded online. She became one of the most searched people in the world on adult platforms. Her videos reached millions, then hundreds of millions of views. She worked with major studios and quickly became one of the most recognizable faces in the industry. From the outside, it looked like success, fame, money, attention. But behind the scenes, the reality was very different. Lana later revealed that the experience in the industry wasn't what people imagined. The pressure, the environment, and the lack of control over her own image began to take a toll on her. She explained that she often felt like she wasn't in control of her own life or the way she was portrayed. Despite the fame and money, she realized that continuing in the industry would come at a cost to her mental and emotional health. What looked glamorous from the outside didn't feel that way on the inside. And slowly, that feeling grew stronger. Until she reached a point where she knew she didn't want to continue. She realized she needed to step away, not because of anyone else, but for herself. So, she made a decision that surprised a lot of people. At the peak of her popularity, she walked away. After only about a year of active work, Lana left the adult industry completely. She stopped filming porn despite still being in high demand. While her content continued to circulate online, she'd already stepped into a different phase of her life. One where she could reclaim control over her image and her future. But leaving wasn't easy, because the internet doesn't forget. Her past followed her everywhere. Her name was still tied to that chapter, no matter how much she tried to move forward. So instead of running from it, she faced it. Lana began rebuilding her identity through social media. She gained millions of followers, not just because of her past, but because people were curious about who she was becoming. She started speaking openly about her experiences, her regrets, and the reality behind the image people had of her. Through podcasts and interviews, she shared a side of the story that many had never heard before. Honest, unfiltered, real. Over time, her story became less about where she started and more about how she changed. Then in 2022, her life shifted again in a completely different way. She became a mother. and that moment redefined everything. Her priorities changed. Fame became less important than building a stable and meaningful life. She stepped further away from the spotlight and focused more on personal growth and her future. Today, Lana Rhoades represents something more than just internet fame. Her story is about transformation. It's about making choices, some good, some difficult, and learning from them. It's about rising quickly, realizing the cost, and having the courage to walk away from even the things that made her famous. And most importantly, it's about proving that no matter how the world sees you, you still have the power to redefine yourself. Because in the end, her story isn't just about where she's been, it's about who she chose to become. She